Homeward Haunts. 10 terrifyingly haunted locations too close for comfort. Episode 3, California. Number 1. Rancho Los Amigos Hospital. Built in 1888, this hospital was built to serve as a poor farm and a ward for the mentally ill. Near the end of the 50s, the mental ward was closed down. It was never demolished. Instead, a fence was put up around it, along with a warning to keep away would-be explorers. Though these warnings did little to stop the adventurous, those who braved the old building have discovered many strange things here, ranging from old office furniture and medical files to mummified body parts. In one of the old morgue freezers, legs, feet, and even pieces of human brains were also discovered. Many who go there report strange encounters, such as seeing apparitions in the windows, lights turning themselves on and off, and even a sad, eerie song that can sometimes be heard emitting from the morgue. Explorers be wary. These halls are winding and nearly impossible to traverse in the dark, let alone keep an eye out on the old faulty flooring. Number 2. The Hollywood Sign. Originally created in 1923, this long-standing icon eventually became a location where suicidal individuals chose to end their lives. Most notably was Peg Entwistle, a well-known Broadway actress. Entwistle enjoyed a relatively successful career, but was very unhappy as she had been pigeonholed into a comedic role, which made it difficult for her to transition from stage to film. It was on a September morning in 1932 that a hiker found her crumpled body in a ravine below the Hollywood sign. Police surmised that she had climbed a worker's ladder to the top of the 45-foot H, where she jumped to her death. Nowadays, many hikers claim to see ghostly visions of a woman leaping from the ladder at night. Some claim to hear a woman screaming, and others say they could smell the scent of gardenia perfume, Entwistle's signature scent. Number 3. The Brookdale Lodge. Nestled in the Santa Cruz Mountains is the Brookdale Lodge. Originally built in 1870 as a mill, it was later converted into campgrounds and a hotel. The property changed hands many times since then. During the 40s and 50s, the lodge became a home for gangsters and other shady folks. During this time, it was fitted with many secret passageways and hidden rooms. Of course, there were also plenty of rumors about bodies under the floors as well. Most recently, the Brookdale Lodge was converted back into a functioning hotel. And as one can imagine, in a place with a history such as this, there are many reported hauntings. Many guests claim to see the ghost of Sarah Logan, a 6-year-old girl who drowned on the property. She's seen playing on a balcony in her little white and blue Sunday dress. Others have even claimed the apparition to approach them, asking for her mother, before disappearing. Other experiences include hearing voices, clinking glasses, and soft music playing from no identifiable source. Number 4. The Pasadena Bridge. This beautiful but undoubtedly eerie bridge was built in 1913, and only after 6 short years, it claimed its first suicide in 1919. This count has sadly never stopped climbing, earning itself the nickname Suicide Bridge. As of today, there are over 100 documented suicides by people throwing themselves from the bridge, though in reality, the numbers are much higher. You see, the city of Pasadena doesn't care for the negativity it brings. So, whenever they feel too many of these incidents have taken place, they trim the numbers down for official reports. So, the sad truth is, No one really knows how many lives this bridge has claimed. People have reported seeing a man throw himself from the railing, but when they run in an attempt to stop him, there's no one in sight. There's also accounts of cars swerving to avoid hitting a woman walking across the street, but she vanishes shortly after. One man even claimed of a spooky encounter while walking across the bridge. He said that ahead of him there were streetlights illuminating the path, but as he walked past each one, they would turn off behind him, eventually leaving him in the middle of the bridge in total darkness. Number 5. Yamashiro. Built in the 1920s as a private art museum, this beautiful Japanese palace was later converted into a breathtaking restaurant. Located in Sycamore Avenue in Hollywood, the palace has sprawling views of the city. But, along with the views, Yamashiro also has many accounts of chilling encounters. There have been many recorded events where patrons say that they sat at the bar and had a conversation with a friendly barkeep, and upon looking away for a moment, he would vanish without a trace. Others report seeing silhouettes of a man and a woman drifting through fences on their stroll about the property. And, of course, being such a lovely venue, many people chose to get married there. But it's not for the faint of heart. Many brides have recalled hearing the sound of a woman crying from within the bridal suite, but when they opened the door to check, no one was there. Others have even reported seeing a ghostly bride sitting at the vanity. Number 6. Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary. Initially used in the 1850s to hold military prisoners, this penitentiary eventually became known as The Rock. It was in 1933 that the federal government decided to convert it into a maximum security prison. Alcatraz, like the cold rock it got its nickname from, was designed to break its prisoners. Anything beyond the 4 basic requirements of food, clothing, shelter, and medical care had to be earned. Punishments were harsh, and being isolated meant many inhumane methods could fly under the radar. One of the more allegedly haunted locations is Cell 14D. According to the tale, one night the prisoner held in this whole cell screamed the whole night about a creature with red eyes killing him. The following morning, the guards found him strangled to death in the cell. Strangely enough, the next morning, when one of the guards did roll count of the prisoners, he counted 1 too many. Some say that he saw the dead convict in line with the others before promptly disappearing. Other encounters include hearing unexplained clanging sounds, cold spots, apparitions, and the smell of cigarette smoke. Number 7. Battery Point Lighthouse. The Battery Point Lighthouse has always been unique. Its location on Battery Island is only truly an island during high tide. Other than that, it can be walked to from the mainland. Built in 1856 and eventually decommissioned and converted into a museum in 1965, this lighthouse is full of many tales. Despite being believed to be haunted, no one seems to know by who or even why. However, it's believed that there are 3 playful specters, 1 child and 2 adults. Some accounts of paranormal activity include a caretaker having their slippers moved about the house at night, a rocking chair that frequently rocks itself, and the sound of heavy boots trudging up and down the lighthouse stairs. Number 8. The Whaley House. Being the subject of movies and other media, many people have already heard of the Whaley House. This historic building was originally built in 1857 as the Whaley family home, but over its life it took on many purposes, such as business offices, a courthouse, a commercial theater, a school, and so on. Many people believe this property to be haunted due to its heavy history. Violet Whaley committed suicide in 1885, and many were hung on the property during its time as a courthouse. Many people who visit the house claim to see various apparitions. Many see the form of ghostly women, while others see who they believe to be Yankee Jim, a man convicted and executed on the property for grand larceny. Many other encounters have been reported, such as strange, unexplainable smells and the sound of heavy boots moving about the upper floor when no one is there. Number 9. Red Castle Inn. Built in 1860, the Red Castle Inn is a 4-story brick mansion and is allegedly home to the specter of the Lady in Grey. The castle was originally built to be the family home of the Williams family, but was later turned into a bed and breakfast. Over the years, the tale of the Grey Lady persists. According to the story, she was a staff member serving the Williams family. She spent her days caring for their 11 children, both biological and foster. She eventually died from a high fever, but is rumored to have never left the property. Many report seeing a woman in gray moving throughout the mansion. She looks so solid and real that they truly believe she's a real person, at least until she walks right through a solid wall. Stranger yet, she's even held conversations with visitors, none the wiser to her otherworldly nature. Number 10. The Queen Mary. Launching her career as a luxury liner in 1937 from England, she was host to many famous and influential guests. However, at the start of World War II, the Queen Mary was used as a ferry which carried countless soldiers into battle. It wasn't until years after her time being used in the war that the Queen Mary was finally sold to a tour operator and set up as a floating hotel in Long Beach in 1967. The reported hauntings on this vessel are too many to properly list, but some include doors slamming shut of their own will, cold spots, and wet footprints appearing out of nowhere. Apparitions are also reported, and some have heard footsteps stalking them down in the engine room. Though the high volume of happenings can be unsettling, many have reported feeling as though the entities they encountered were just benign in nature. Well, folks, that's all for this episode. Thank you for watching. If you're a local to the state and I didn't choose your favorite allegedly haunted location, feel free to list it in the comments below. Perhaps I'll cover it another time around. That's all until next time. Until then, stay creepy.